One of the most prolific brotherhoods of assassins is the American Brotherhood, or as they were formerly known, the Colonial Assassins. Many notable assassins were a part of this, including Connor Kenway, Shay Cormac, and much later down the line, Desmond Miles. However, this wouldn't have been the case were it not for the formation of the original Colonial Brotherhood. So today I'm going to be going over their origins, as well as how each member joined, going up to the start of Assassin's Creed Rogue. So anyway, let's get right into this. So the origins of this particular branch of the Brotherhood can be traced back to Achilles Davenport, an assassin of Jamaican and British heritage who worked alongside the West Indies Brotherhood with assassins like Adewale and Atabai. Specifically those two he looked up to, and he was especially important to Atabai as he was the aging assassin's final student. So in his last move as a mentor, in the year 1740, Atabai sent the now 30-year-old Achilles to the 13 colonies so he could set up a brotherhood in America. These 13 colonies stretched across the east coast from Georgia to New Hampshire. After arriving, Achilles met John de la Tour, a French assassin who had a similar goal to Achilles, as he also realised that the Templars would take over the colonies if they were given the chance. Despite the two working together so much and John being crucial to this part of the Brotherhood, Achilles didn't particularly like him, thinking him to be a quote-unquote arrogant bastard. And although John was a useful ally, Achilles was still going to need students if he wanted a brotherhood anywhere near the size of Atabai's, which is when he decided to induct Liam O'Brien. Achilles and Liam had a pre-established history. Liam was a known New York criminal. He had attempted a robbery on his boss, whom he felt had cheated him and his colleagues out of money. After being caught in the heist and having to kill a man, Liam's father took the blame and was executed for his son's crimes. After this, Liam spent his time stealing from wealthy members of society, and in 1738, just 2 years before being tasked with creating this new brotherhood, Achilles began giving Liam jobs and errands, and the two became close, with Achilles teaching Liam what he knew, so recruiting him in 1743 was only natural, and Liam's respect for Achilles would continue to grow, as would Achilles for this attentive and serious assassin. Achilles, John and Liam took part in a series of missions to either enact justice or find out more about the first civilization. A notable example was when John and Achilles went to Quebec to seek out information about precursor sites. However, the man they were seeking was dead, and the information was only known to a slave who went by Abigail, who Achilles and John bought, finding out what they needed and letting her stay with them. In 1745, on another mission, John was killed by British forces, but not before handing Achilles his robes and naming him mentor. Their search for first of knowledge wasn't too successful, only finding a note that read, "Seek out the Sky Woman." Achilles, Liam and Abigail then went to New York to formally create this brotherhood. And around the same time, Louis-Joseph Gaultier Chevalier de la Vérendrye
It is Capitaine Louis-Joseph Gaultier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye,
became a commander for the French government, and after assisting Achilles and Liam on a mission, just 2 years later he was inducted into the Brotherhood, although he was already of some acclaim before this, coming from a renowned family of explorers who he followed in the footsteps of, piloting his own man of war named the Gaffoe. Another fun fact about Louis-Joseph Gaultier Chevalier de la Vérendrye is he actually has more syllables in his name than he does words spoken in Assassin's Creed Rogue. In 1745, Atabai died and sent Achilles a final letter that thanked him for his impact on the assassins and for living up to his promise. After this, Achilles sent out a letter himself so he could begin building up his brotherhood to a respectable size. The letter read, "Brothers and sisters, I'm writing to inform you that a new brotherhood is being created in the New World. Already I have allies amongst English colonists, French colonists and indigenous people of the area. I've sent similar letters of friendship across the world, for I believe we are growing ever more connected, day by day. If my brotherhood is to succeed, we will need allies from all empires, of all genders, of all races, all who believe in the same thing, the creed. I hope I can count you among them." The next year, 1746, Achilles met Hope Jensen, a young noblewoman who had learned to steal and pickpocket in her efforts to help her dying mother. Achilles was taken aback by her wit and pickpocketing abilities and introduced her to the order the next year, and got to work expanding the Brotherhood's reach by raising gangs around New York, paving the way for legendary assassin Jacob Fry to do the same with the much revered Rux. I'm sorry. Anyway, not long after meeting Hope, Achilles inducted Kasega Kasegawase, a man who fought alongside the French to defend his tribe against the British, so naturally his allegiances aligned with the Brotherhood, and with Achilles being so impressed with his determination, Kasegawase quickly raised up the ranks of the assassins. The Colonial Brotherhood had a lot going on at this point in time. It was the same year Achilles built a homestead as a base, which is in Massachusetts if you ever wondered. The Colonial Brotherhood also had strong ties with a lot of useful allies, including the French government as well as the French assassins who they would work with frequently, including assassins like La Chasseur. The Brotherhood also had strong connections with Iroquois tribes. Achilles was known to have been in contact with Zeal at the time for some reason, and on top of all this, Achilles befriended Sam Adams, who was a notable activist in the colonies, a friendship that would have great significance down the line. The same year, Achilles also married Abigail, whom he had a son with named Connor Davenport. Later down the line, in 1748, Achilles took in Shay Patrick Cormac, in part due to his relationship with Liam. Liam was a few years older than Shay, but often found himself helping him out as he lived in a more deprived neighbourhood in New York. Shay was also more than a competent seafarer. He worked alongside his father, a marine merchant, and after Shay's father's life was taken by a storm, Shay was left devastated and started looking for fights. However, Liam, as he often did, comforted Shay and took him into his new brotherhood at the young age of 17, and a lot of this was in part due to his seafaring abilities, as Achilles wanted to expand their navy at the time, which was helped by the French council constructing the Aquila for them, which was piloted by Achilles himself for a while before rescuing the hardened sailor Robert Faulkner, who used his experience both in the navy and as a merchant to create a shipping route which would connect the colonial assassins with their European counterparts. In 1751, Miko, who was a crucial part of the British Brotherhood, wrote a letter that congratulated Achilles on his achievement, but also warned him of the British Templars who could be a threat to their brotherhood, and he was right, as 2 years later Miko was assassinated by the British Templar Connor Kenway. That year, Francois Macandal, a Haitian assassin, was able to recover both the precursor box and the manuscript, and Macandal sent his apprentice Vendredi to go and have a look at one of these precursor sites, basically causing a huge earthquake, which is what Shay means when he says what happened in Haiti happened in Portugal. You can also learn about this if you eavesdrop on Achilles and Adewale's conversation after you take part in training during Sequence 1. And that about takes us up to the events of Assassin's Creed Rogue. Just recording this, I know that this is going to be quite visually dull, because there's not really any images, artwork or videos of this, because these are just things from the database about these characters and about the Brotherhood. So I hope those descriptions were enough for you guys. If you enjoyed this, maybe leave a like. If you didn't, maybe let me know why. I'd really like to do more things like this because I love covering lore. It's so, and I want to get to a point where like I've covered everything, but that'll be a while down the road. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, just let me know. And if you didn't, of course, I've just said that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.